Thank you, Peter. You've given us a great deal to think about, and thank you for your time and sharing your thoughts with us today. Okay. Before we adjourn this lunch and head off to this afternoon's sessions, we have one other order of business. In a few moments, I'm going to pass the gavel to the incoming chair of the Board of Directors, Teresa Sullivan, President of the University of Virginia. But first, let me express my sincere thanks to all of you. It's been a privilege to serve as board chair and to collaborate with you and to learn from you. During my time as chair, and not because of my chairship, we as an association have accomplished a great deal. For example, we continue to make strides in increasing degree completion and retention. We launched a commission to define research, learning, and engagement priorities for feeding the world by 2050. We joined together on social media campaigns to count all students and show what public universities value. We released a comprehensive report on lab safety, and we worked to improve innovation, strengthen funding, and show how we are accountable to the people and the society that we serve. And the list goes on and on from there. So together, we have a great deal to be proud of, and I urge all of you to stay fully engaged, to continue to build on these successes and tackle new challenges. I've noticed in our conversations over the last couple of days that we've continued our conversations about challenges that we have faced over the past 2 years, but I think there is a very reflective tone in many of the conversations that we've had. All of us know that there is a great joy in being at our universities and seeing the change in our students, seeing the contributions that we make, the services that we provide, the teaching, the research. But we also know that public universities face challenges. Many of our universities were established in the 1800s based on the premise that because public universities provide benefits to society, they would be financially supported by states. The result, as you've just heard a couple of people mention here today, is that we have created an American higher education system that became the envy of the world and played a tremendous role in developing our democracy and our quality of life. But state support for higher education has partially eroded over the past 20 years. And while most of us, most Americans, view higher education as important, they seem to be less willing to spend money on it, or to have elected officials spend money on it, to support the universities that educate most of the nation's students and create a more prosperous society. So what was once embraced as a collective good, a public higher education is increasingly viewed and paid for as a private one. This has serious implications for our students, for families, for our economy, for our society, both of which prosper when the unique benefits of a public university are available to large numbers and a large proportion of our society. These conversations, these challenges, I think, have been brought to the fore to an even greater extent in the last week. In the face of these challenges, the work that you do, the work that we do as an association is more important than it has ever been. This is not the time to step back and wait for a better time. This is the time to renew our efforts, to renew our commitment to what we're doing, to ensure that we make a contribution to our students and to our society, and to press the value of what we do. This is noble work, it's important work, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to accomplish it. So thank you for everything that you do and for your support. Now, Teresa, will you join me on stage?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank Bernadette. All of us are grateful for her service this past year as board chair. and I look forward to continuing the excellent work you've done during your term. Could we show Bernadette Gray-Little how much we appreciate her? It's a great honor to assume leadership of the APLU Board of Directors. It's also a great responsibility, one that I share with my fellow board members and with all of you. The responsibility is shaped and informed by APLU's mission, the mission to make our public colleges and universities both excellent and affordable, while producing cutting-edge research, tackling society's most pressing problems, and serving as engines of economic development in our communities. That mission is expressed in the theme of this week's APLU meeting: learning, discovery, and engagement. One of our roles as advocates for public higher education is to communicate in clear terms the value, and not just the cost, of the learning, discovery, and engagement that's occurring at our institutions. We must communicate this value to audiences both within and beyond our colleges and universities, because our constituencies include many groups, but most importantly, the taxpayers. This effort will continue to be critically important as the value of higher education continues to be questioned and criticized in some corners. To highlight the value of public higher education and also the value of this association, let me draw your attention to this afternoon's collaborative sessions. We have a session on the engagement of public universities in the effort to end world hunger, a session on institution-wide transformational engagement, and a session on the complex issues related to diversifying the professoriate, which will feature a message from the director of the National Science Foundation and the principal deputy director of the National Institute of Health. The scope, depth, and importance of these discussion topics are testaments to two things: the power of this association's network of members and the significance of the work in which we are engaged. I look forward to serving as chair of the Board of Directors in the year to come, a more challenging year than perhaps I had anticipated. And I look forward to the work that we will accomplish together.